大家好，欢迎回到这个关于低税被动收入和投资的频道，我是 KALINA。那今天的视频呢有一点不一样，跟大家分享一下。以前呢，在我以前的视频里面，我跟大家说，一直我们要做一个中级的课程，然后呢，我也跟了很多这个做day trade的老师学习过，然后呢，有 option 的，也有这个做多的。但是呢，作为这个做空的来说呢，学了很多，到底最终呢还是没有一个特别好的一个进程，所以呢，今天呢我就想跟大家介绍一下我的第3个 mentor， 就是我一直在学习做空的这一位老师，也是将来要跟我们一起合作做这个中级这个24个这个 shorting 或者是 long 这个 pattern 的一位老师。好，那我们今天就来采访一下他。Hello everyone. Hi David.
Hey.
I just introduced David, which we met at a trading event, and David is my third mentor, who I was trying to learn the shorting stocks. So can you introduce about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm David Capablanca. I'm based out of Los Angeles. I have a trading office and podcast studio here at the US Bank Tower in Los Angeles, and I trade out of here, this small office that I made for myself, and I switched over from the career in architecture to trading. Here in the United States, you know, to do a career, you got to get a lot of student loans in a lot of cases, and I had a lot of student loans. And when I finished and entered the architecture career, those loans were going to take too long to pay off, so I looked into trading, and I decided to learn trading. I took it very serious and learned as much as I can from everywhere. Just like KALINA is, you know, multiple mentors, multiple books, videos,
right.
as much as you can. And I decided to go into short selling specifically and just master short selling. One of my favorite quotes is a Bruce Lee quote where he says, he's afraid of the guy that mastered one kick 10,000 times, not 10,000 kicks one time. So I decided, I like that quote a lot. It's really, like, it's one of my main ones. I mention it a lot in my podcasts, the trading podcast. So I decided short selling was going to be something, I was going to master it. Wow. And I haven't focused on anything else. But in order to learn short selling, you have to learn longing as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to understand what the longs are thinking. A lot of it's a mental thing. So it's like a game of chess. So knowing what the other side is thinking, so you can, as your opponent, you know. So it is something I love. Trading is, I've got a lot of success with trading in a short amount of time. So with trading, if you do things right, you can have a massive amount of success in a short amount of time. Unlike, you know, my previous career in architecture, I spent 10 years studying in schools and getting licensed, and then another 3 years to get licensed, and then you start your career. After 13 years, you finally starting a little bit to get started. With trading, if you take it very serious and you do everything you need to do, and for me, it was around 4 years. Everything got together, and you know, I love trading, and I'm living the life I want to live, you know. So yeah,
you are the only one living in Los Angeles, like the day trader I can really talk to.
Yeah, there's not
nobody.
Many in Los
yeah,
Angeles.
I'm trying to, you know, join the trading event we met before, but not so many people living here.
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends in trading, but none of them are in Los Angeles except KALINA.
Because the tax issue?
Yeah, the tax. They're in Puerto Rico. A lot of them are in Puerto Rico. So if you go to Puerto Rico, I spent over a year in Puerto Rico, 2021 to 2022, and everywhere you go, someone's a successful trader because everybody's there for taxes, for trading.
Yeah.
So I go to play baseball or softball, everybody's a trader. I go to the restaurant, everyone's a trader. So it's a good place to network. So it's like, how do you network if no one's here? So I decided to throw the conference in September, and people are flying in, and you can network.
Trading is so lonely. It's like a one-person game.
Yeah.
Every time it's one person. That's why I understand why you're trying to do some YouTube or broadcast. You know, it's not about like making money or something, like more like for yourself and making friends.
Yeah.
Right?
The podcast, I made a lot of friends with the podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. So this is the very first time to the Chinese audience. So can I ask a few questions for my student, for my audience? Okay. So first, I think you already mentioned that. So can you tell us about your journey into shorting stocks? What those some of the very challenge part to facing you along all the way before you achieving the current success?
Okay, so one thing that was very clear to me in the beginning, because I had no financial background, I didn't even know stocks when I started, was that one mentor I had pointed out this pump and dump pattern. So the stock is manipulated to go up, and then the people with shares, they want to dump it.
Okay.
So that was very clear to me. Just like that chart right there, KALINA, the Tulip Mania chart.
Yeah.
So it was very clear, like the pattern is so clear. It goes up like crazy and then it dumps. And then to know why it dumps, it's like someone has shares, they want to dump to make money. So I decided, that one is clear. Also the movies that came out, like The Wolf of Wall Street, it was at the time. So I was like, okay, this is clear to me and I like it enough where I can just, when you like something and enjoy the patterns and the process, you want to go more. You're encouraged.
So,
it's fun.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's how I started. And
so recently, I saw so many articles, even the insiders, business, or even in your local Miami newspapers, right? So I read some of them. So I have a question about, I'm so curious about you talking about the 9 data points you mentioned in your trading strategy. So how those indicators help you to determine when do you think the stock is going to plan?
Okay, so that was the insider article. That one was a very good, a journalist. That's like one of the top ones. They audited me like crazy to verify that I'm real. And yeah, and it was a lady trader, and she wasn't used to short selling like someone with the high percentage of short selling. So I told her my process, and she made the 9.
Okay.
And I think 9 is good, but it's not exactly 9 that I look for, but that's good. So how did I come up with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just for short selling. So before we started, I was explaining to KALINA that short sellers, there's a lot of risk, like infinite risk.
Right.
So one way that short sellers, to limit the risk, is to be very selective and to be very meticulous. You have to be your process has to be very strict. It's got to be an order. So for the first thing, you have rules that you just don't break no matter what. Like for example, the float of a stock can't be less than 3 million. Can't be. Okay. And then another one, institutional ownership. Over 40%, I don't want to short that. Okay. And the newer to trading you are, the more strict you got to be. Like there are stocks, let's say I short one that's 50% ownership, and somebody that I know, like, David, why'd you short that? You own 40%. That I've been trading 5 years. I'm highly successful. It's different for me. I have a lot more things I look at as well, like that I've earned the right to do that because of experience and my that I've been profitable for so long. Now, if you're starting out and you don't have at least 6 months of profitability in a row, you're not profitable. And not only that, 6 months of profitability, but 3 years experience. You need to have a lot of experience in the market in order to break the rules a tiny bit. So you have to stick by these rules so strict. So institutional ownership, because institutional ownership, if these are big banks and stuff that really believe in the company, you don't want to compete against them.
Right.
So institutional ownership, the float, the borrow fee rate percentage, which we'll go over later. If it's over like 80%, it starts to become a really red flag. So you want to know the red flags, because in short selling, if you miss one red flag, you can blow up your account. Just like I was telling KALINA, it's like stocks, when you buy them, they bleed out. They kind of dump a little bit, they bleed out. A stock squeeze can squeeze 1,000% like this,
like
and
infinity, right?
Quick, quick, and then you lose all your money. Because short sellers, when it squeezes, the brokers and short sellers, they when they cover, they're forced to buy the stock. They're forced. They don't want to buy the stock,
right,
but they have to exit their position. And when they exit, the stock shoots up, and then another short seller panics and covers, and he shoots up,
squeeze a lot.
Squeeze, and you go to the bathroom and come back, your account's gone. You know, see, but if you buy a stock at $5, it might drop to $4, and maybe in 6 months it goes to 0, or a year or 2 years. Short squeeze, in 10 minutes it can go from $5 to $20.
But also can make a lot of money at the.
You can, yeah. But the thing is, you have to follow the process, and we're gonna go over that process.
Okay.
You know, it's just the process has to be. You have to follow the process.
I think so many Chinese young traders was curious about how you, from 2016 to grow up until this moment. I think you, in your articles, you mentioned about a little bit, you know, you're facing the setback earlier on the 2018 or 17 something, and then finally you got success in 2020s. So can you share with us a little bit more how you got those growth experience until this moment?
Yeah, so I started in 2016, but it wasn't until 2020 where I had success. And 2016, I would say it's from 2016 to 2018, I was trading or studying it like a hobby, or, you know, like a side hustle, you know, like a side thing that I want to do. And I dreamed of, okay, maybe I can leave my career after I study enough. But it's like when I was working full time, it was very hard to study 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, to really study, because I was working as an architect. But I had the goal in my mind to switch careers. So I studied a little bit in 2016, studied a little bit, and then 2017, 2018. And then I saved up enough money where I got this office that you see, and I had enough money saved up to live like a minimal lifestyle, but just study trading full time. And the office had no, it was just walls, you know, and I had a small computer. That was all that was in here. It wasn't like this. And I just studied 10 hours, 12 hours. Anything about short selling that was there, I studied it. Any video on YouTube, I studied it. But I wasn't making any money. You know, I tried short selling a small account, just $2,000 or $3,000, making a little bit, but I was practicing. And then 2020 happened, and the COVID stocks went crazy. Any company that said, hey, we're gonna put out mask, we're gonna have Clorox, stock goes up 500%.
Right.
We have rubbing alcohol, stock goes up 500%. Then crash. We have a car company would say, oh, we have ventilators, we're gonna put our factory to do ventilators, stock goes up 500%, crash, 1,000% crash. So like, I saw this happening over and over, and I said, you know what, this is after studying so long and not making any money, I was like, you know what, this is a decade, once every 10 years, once every 5-10 years, there's always an opportunity. And I knew this in 2016. I said, you know what, I need to study now, because I know in 5 years, 10 years, there's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime, and I need to be ready. I don't have money now, but I know in the future, when there's an opportunity, I can find a way to get some money to trade it. But I need to have the knowledge, because you can't just trade with no knowledge, you know, it's going to lose money. So 2020, I saw that, and I was like, you know what, I've been studying for so long, practicing for so long, this is the time. I'm going to regret it if I don't take risk. And that's one thing I don't ever want to live with, is regret. I don't think anybody should live with regret. You always got to try something. When you're older, you're going to be like, man, I should have taken that chance, you know, and then you're going to regret. So I decided to put money over PDT in the account, which is over $25,000 in the account, and I started short selling, and that market was insane. And the first month I made like $25,000. The next month I made $40,000. And that was just enough to grow from there. And then now I have enough. Then a year later, 2021, you had the meme stocks. That went crazy. And then I grew my account more. I moved to Puerto Rico. And then 2022, I moved back here, and I just kept, you know, it's like you never stop learning. So I'm still growing more. And like with the podcast now, I learn. When I interview traders, I learn a little bit of what they're doing. My network becomes bigger. But yeah, the main thing is the beginning is so important, because you can't mess up in the beginning. If you blow up your first month, your second month, you can't trade it. It's hard to come back.
Right.
So that's one thing I did right was I gave myself time to study. I was forced to study because I couldn't trade with less than PDT money, less than 25,000. So, and I was patient enough to wait for the right opportunity to strike, you know? And then I saw the market go crazy, and I was like, you know what? Now's the time. And just like that was when I was studying 2016 to 2020. I studied older crazy times. Like 2008 was the real estate crash and the recession. That was a good opportunity to not only with stocks but real estate and everything. And then, you know, so every decade. So, and before that was 1999, 2000, the internet bubble.
Every 10 years.
Yeah. So that was my plan in 2016. I said, you know what? I don't have time to study the stocks like crazy at that time, but I got to be prepared. I got to start. So you need to start. You always need to start, and you need to have a goal and wait for the right time. You're not going to be profitable right away. It's like it takes time because you got to learn all the steps. You got to learn, you know, you got to learn how everything works, you know?
So everything about the process. So the opportunity only come to the well-prepared person like you. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Yeah. So I think from now on, I'm so happy to find my third mentor here, David. So we have a so long time from now on to learn from David. But last question today I want to ask you is like beside the day trading, so what kind of like a hobby or personal interest can help you to like your trading life? You know, the young traders, they struggle about like a risk management mindset issue. They can't control their emotional things, you know, that when they stop trading and go back again, you know, those things that happen a lot, lose money. So what kind of advice or how you balance your life?
Okay, so I like sports. I like baseball. I like to watch baseball.
You have so many muscles.
A little bit. I do
whiter than me.
The gym. Yeah, I'm inside this office so much. I need to get sun. You know, I'm all super white. You got more tan than me. But yeah, I like baseball because baseball is has a lot of statistics, and I keep track of like the players I like. So I use a lot of like analogies from baseball to trading. I like chess. I play some chess. Nice. At the gym I go to, they have a chess club.
Oh.
So the athletic club here is a gym.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a chess club. So I like to play chess. Chess keeps your mind sharp, and you have to think like 5 moves ahead. So it's like when I'm trading, I'm thinking, when I'm shorting something, it's like, who am I shorting against? What are they thinking? Who has shares to dump? Is it the CEO has shares? Why is the CEO saying this? Why is the CEO saying that? What is their plan? So it's like a game of chess. You think, what is your opponent thinking? You know, is he planning an attack? What's he doing? So like, I like chess. I like sports, baseball specifically. I like rowing. I do a lot of rowing exercises, keep my mind sharp. I like to, you know, go for walks in downtown, and I look at architecture. I like architecture photography, you know. So I don't know, and you know, I like podcasts. I listen to all types of podcasts because I always, not only from trading, I like podcasting. I'm a podcaster. I like to learn techniques of how to do interviews, how to do better, you know, just things like that. So that also helps me with trading because getting better at podcasting gets me better at asking questions, which makes me a better trader because I'm learning from the questions. So everything helps me get better.
Because the new trader, they think about the screen time when they, you know, sitting in front of the computer like over 15 hours per day, they are a good trader. I think it's not. So like you wake up like a 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. today and make a $7,000. That's perfect. That's why I want to learn from you.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of my strategy lately is to avoid the squeezes. And the squeezes happen in the first couple of hours because everybody wants to rush to make money short selling and they get squeezed.
Right.
So so sometimes the strategy is to wake up later, wait till everybody gets squeezed, and then you wake up, you stretch, you make coffee, and then you're like, oh, nice, the squeeze already happened. Let me short it now.
I used to wake up like every day 5 or 5:30 to look at the pre-market or check all the news. When I go back to Japan, so the time difference make me so painful. So that's why I'm trying to find the best way, like your time zone, and then wake up with a coffee and then look at the market and boom, like $7,000. So
so I was in Japan last year, and the pre-market opens and the after hours opens
when I have a dinner and the people ask me, do you want a drink? Then I have to look at the pre-market, so I don't like it.
So the pre-market is here at 1 in the morning till 6. So what time?
7 p.m. around in the Japan time, and the market open is 9:30 around p.m. 9:30
Okay,
p.m.
so yeah,
in
pre-market
Japan.
is the evening. What about the after hours?
After hours,
Like
I was sleeping.
4 to 8 p.m. here. What time is that in Japan?
In the morning.
So
like
maybe
in
the morning is good to trade then. Oh, like really early.
Really early, like.
See, Japan is weird hours. Yeah. But yeah, if you can pick and choose a few hours, you can make good money.
Yeah.
You know.
So, thank you so much, David, today. And I think all our Chinese audience, all our students, really willing to learn from you from now. So please come to our show or talk about all your journey or all your patterns in the future.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.